Hey, thank you for joining me here on this video class. In this class, we will learn about how to circle prospect with command. And what we're going to go over is how to use the default templates that the direct mail part has in campaigns. And then we're going to go over how to create a designed postcard that you can then upload into campaigns. So the first thing we're going to go is if we go to campaigns, you'll see we have different things we can do there, where there's creating paid ads, mass emails, social posts. What we're going to be focusing on today is direct mail. So if we click in direct mail, what we're going to do is we're going to click on create campaign. So you'll see right here, create campaign. And then we're going to click on direct mail right there. And again, if we're doing, let's say for a property, what we're going to do right now, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find a property we can use as a guinea pig. So the property that we're going to go with as far as circle prospecting is this property here by Tomas. Where'd it go? There it is on 2248 Able Way in Sacramento. So we're going to go with that one. So what we're going to do is click on create campaign, direct mail, and type in here Able Way. And what I basically do is, honestly, for your goal, it's depending on what you want to do. If it's just basically to bring awareness or advertise a listing, like, hey, I have a new listing. In this particular case, what we're going to do is we're going to do just listed, right? Because in theory, you could do like click on this QR code postcard, to know where your home value is, that kind of thing. So that can be in attract listings. That's just more for you to know what the objective is for your campaign. And you're going to click on create campaign. And then now if you have a listing that's active, it should appear in here. If you are doing something that if it doesn't come up, then just click on all status or just do actually active all listings. I'm sorry. And then we're going to go ahead and type in the address, in this case, 2248 Able Way. I'm going to hit search. And there it is, right there. Hit select. And then it takes us to where the listing information is. And now we're going to go into content. So the first part here is just the overview of the name of the campaign, what the objective is. The next part here is obviously the listing. And then here we're going to go into diving into picking a template. So these are the 3 templates you have at your disposal. And before we get into the template, let me quickly add an image down here. And if you click on upload image, you can upload a high quality, high resolution photo, or you can choose from the photos that come in from the MLS into here. So if I want, I can basically click on here. There's that. Of course, if you decide you want to do an interior shot instead, you're more than welcome to do that. So maybe you want to do this photo here, the interior instead, which by the way is a really good shot there by the photographer for this property. In here, we can delve into what the templates are. So here's a front. You can see right here. And this is the back. So we can see what the back looks like and what the front looks like. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the different templates. This is the 4x6-inch compact template. If we do default template, this is what it's going to look like. I think the back a little bit different, as you can see here. And by the way, notice how it has, because keep in mind, I'm also a licensed agent in the Corona, California Market Center. So you'll notice that information there. So just don't pay any mind to that. Then here we have a large template. And you can see I can scroll back and forth and you can see what that looks like. And then here's the back looks like. And then finally, we have the large contemporary. And there you go. So keep in mind that there is a cost difference between using the compact all the way up to that, and we'll cover that in a few moments. Now here, of course, I can choose what the status is, just listed, 5-bedroom, 5-bath. And then here, you will see that there is a character limit right here. So what I would say is that this is where you can put the description, a brief description of the property. And keep in mind what this will do is bring in all the description in there. Now you can see we're underneath. And if we go to the back, that's what the description goes to. That's what it will look like, right? Of course, if we do a custom template, it'll look different. But for now, with this template that is included in campaigns, which of course is the easiest way of doing it, there you go. And just like that, it's ready to go. So now the next step of the process is putting in, of course, the market center information. So have your DBA in there. I'm going to put here the name of the market center, KW Corona. In your case, it'll be KW California Premier, and then the address of the property. And just to make sure we have that compliant, let's put in that information. Give me 1 second. So you see here, we have the address. We're going to go ahead and verify it so that way we have the corrected by the Postal Service. And this ensures that it's going to get to the right place. Let me get that changed there. There we go. And of course, this is where you can upload and replace the logo for that. So we'll pretend like we have the appropriate logo. And this is where we want to make sure that the targeting is based off, because we're going to circle around the listing area, right? We're not going to be targeting just some random place. We want to target the area around the listing because you want to get the word out to all the neighbors of the property. The other option you have, if you want to target, let's say a postcard, just a random postcard to your database, you can do that as well by clicking here. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're going to focus on circle prospecting around. Now, here you'll see where the cost for just 200 postcards, first class postage is 77 cents per postcard. Now, of course, if we do change the type of template, then that cost goes up. So, for example, if we decide to do the large template contemporary, and then we go down to the cost, then you'll see it goes up from 77 cents to $1.04 per card, just to kind of give you the range difference between one card or another. So it goes from 150 something to about $208 a card. So again, if you want to choose a different one, let's say we want to go with the large template moderate, then that's what you'll see here. Oh, let me go ahead and change that as well. Perfect. Because what this will do in the market center area here, let me go back to content. Can I skip over that? It's not only the listing information, but also making sure that the agent information is in there correctly. So having your photo in there, your name, email, and phone number is all there correct. Okay, so again, just to do a review, we have the overview of the listing. We have the listing itself. We have the content, which includes the type of template we're going to use, the photograph for that, and then your information. The next part is making sure you have the proper market center information and verifying the address. Then we're going to choose targeting around the address of the property. And last, we have there our budget. And we have that saved. Now, the next step, the fun part, is now going to be the circle prospecting part. So that's right there where it says configure targeting. So we're going to click on that and create this campaign. And give it a second here while it goes from this part here. And now what's going to happen is going to show us a map of the area surrounding the listing. So you'll see here's a listing right over here. And you see it's targeting 200. So if we zoom this out a little bit, you'll see that it's basically circling around this area. Now you'll see, I believe, across the street that I believe those may be apartments across there or a different type of properties. Let me see if that's the case. Nope. But it gives you an idea of what's across the street there. But let's say, for example, that you want to focus mainly on this neighborhood on this side and not on this side for whatever reason. Then you can dictate that. Now, one of the ways you can dictate that is if you want to make sure that you're targeting all single family properties, we can click on that. And that will change the mapping a little bit, especially useful in a situation where maybe you have a home that's maybe near condos and townhomes and apartments, and you don't want to target those properties. Instead, you want to target just a single family. That is very helpful. The second thing you can do is say, hey, I want to target homes that, are at minimum 3 bedrooms. So you can do that as well. That's another good way to eliminate maybe the smaller homes. Maybe you don't want to target those properties. You can also target to give me homes that are bigger than X amount of square feet. So that can also change things. You can also change the year built. Maybe you're targeting homes that are older. So you can say, I want homes no older than, let's say, 19, whatever, 1997, 1990, 1960, whatever. And you can do it the other way around as well. Maybe you want to only target properties that are, older than. So that can also change the equation there. I wouldn't do last sold for, and because the prices have changed so much, especially if you have houses that were built in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, and maybe the 90s, that maybe were bought back then for like, I don't know, 100,000 or 150, and then now they're worth about five, six, $700,000. You would eliminate those properties if you're basically doing, give me properties that were sold for more than, let's say, for example, 478. Then I will eliminate quite a few properties. So my recommendation would be just leave that part alone and then you'll be fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do is what I would recommend is let's target people who, and this is the year sold would be a really useful tool because you want to eliminate people who bought a home within the last few years. You don't want to waste your money on a car or someone who bought a home 2 months ago because obviously they're not going to be in position to purchase a property to sell their property. Then you can actually say, okay, give me those that have sold 4 years ago. And then that gives you that. So that way it eliminates anybody who's they bought their home within the last 4 years, right? Now, here's the other thing you can do at this point is you can actually, if we scroll up here in the map, let me move up here and let me move this back so we can see this. So there's the area. Oops, there we go. So what I want to do is you can actually draw an area. So let's say, for example, you want to target this entire neighborhood. Then what you can do is we can do a draw, click, and then move it over. Let me go ahead and hit draw again, click, and then you're gonna hold down. Now, I'm not a big fan of drawing because you can see I'm not the best drawer, as you can see if I can say that correctly. So that's one way of doing it. You can do it that way. And it gives you all the property, all 3,079 properties. We can reset that. And what we can do is say, okay, let's basically do it by drawing a polygon. And that's a lot easier to do, in my opinion, because you can click and then click, and you can see it's a lot easier than at that point to really draw a shape as opposed to trying to draw it by hand. And then there I go, just like that. And now it's going to put all the properties there in that box, just like that. You'll see here you have 1,048 properties. That's going to get that mailer. And then you'll see the cost would be 1,193 people. So if you want to do that entire area, that's an option. And then, of course, what you can do is you can always move that down to where it'll give you, like, say, 500. Let's say if that's your budget, it's $520, no problem. It'll basically do it to that. Okay, so let's move there we go, because our prospect is here. And of course, you see there's a park right below there, but we're going to keep it to this. And then only these homes in this neighborhood specifically are going to get that postcard. So just like that, those are several of the options you have at your disposal in regards to how to do that. Now, let's go ahead and hit next. And this will give you the preview of what the card will look like, just like that. So here you have, you want to look at a larger view of it. It'll open up a different tab, a PDF version of that card. And this will show you what's going to look like as far as what the front will be. And then this in the back will show you what the back's going to be. You can see there's my name, the brokerage name. You'll see it shows here the brokerage address, and then so forth right here where it's going to go. Now this right here, don't pay attention to that. That's because, again, this is a sample, but this will definitely obviously go to the person you're sending this to. Another question I do get from time to time from folks is, can I get a list of those people? Unfortunately, you can't do that because part of what you're paying for is the convenience of then gathering the information of that for you. And then therefore you don't have to worry about gathering the addresses and uploading it. They're doing all that for you by hand. So there's no way to get that information. But what you can do, I can show a little trick. And let me get to the targeting again. One second here while we bring this up. One thing you can do is if you put your cursor and you click on one of the dots, it does give you not the name of the person, but it does give you the address and gives you the specs of the property. Like here's a 3-bedroom property built in 2006, last sold 2019 for 376. And if I click another dot here, there is that as well. Now, what you'll also notice here is a remove link here. So let's say, for example, that maybe there are people that you don't want to receive the card for whatever reason. Maybe you live in the neighborhood and you don't want to receive the card, or maybe you have a neighbor, whatever the reason is, or maybe you know an agent lives down the street and for whatever reason don't want them to receive it. You can click the remove button right there, and that will remove the address from the list of recipients. Okay, so again, let's go ahead. And oh, by the way, here you can click on send a copy to company address so that way you can get a copy of the card. And that way you know the card has been sent out. Here it covers the timeline of when the card will go out. You'll see here is $521 to send this postcards out, 501 people, because you're including yourself. If you submit the order before 3 o'clock on the business day, then the mailers will go into production that same day at the nearest fulfillment center. And then it should be put into the Postal Service mail stream within 2 business days. So in theory, I would say by Thursday, Friday, when it should be arriving at the Postal Service in the area. And then after that, it should be sent out to the people. And you'll see here the estimated delivery. Your mailers are estimated to arrive in mailboxes of the target recipients in 7 to 14 business days once the order's been submitted. So that used to be a tighter time frame, but I think they extended it out because it varies from place to place. I think if you're in an area that's further out, where the fulfillment center is further away from, let's say, Missoula, Montana would be one that may take a little longer because maybe the fulfillment center is in Denver, Colorado, as an example. I think where you're in a more bigger metropolitan area like Sacramento, I think those timeframes can be shorter. So I would say probably within 7 days or business days or so, that card should arrive there. So by next week sometime, they should receive the card. You also have the ability to schedule this at a later time. So for whatever reason you want a card to go out, maybe you have a Halloween postcard you want to go out, but you don't want to have it to go out today. Maybe you want it to go out maybe in 5 days, or a Christmas card you want to go out, but you don't want to send it now. You want to send it later. You can do that. Right here, you put in your email, your credit card number, make a payment, and just like that, that's it. You're done. You don't have to worry about having to download a list or any of that. It takes care of that for you. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly show you here how to create a postcard that you can send out via the campaigns. So let's say, for example, we click on design and we're going to hit print, hit next. Oh, let me put my information here. So if you're not a fan of some of the templates that are provided by the campaign applet, you can choose other postcards. So for example, if we go to just listed right here, or maybe you want to do a coming soon, or you have an open house coming up and you want to do a circle prospect and open house, then let's say, for example, you do open house, you can click on standard postcards, and then here are the postcards that you can then design, download, and then upload into that campaign. If you're doing, let's say, for example, I had someone I helped with creating a postcard for, they had a buyer and were looking for a seller that may be looking to sell their home. And so they circle prospect an area that the buyer likes. You can create a postcard for that. But let's say you want to do an open house card and circle prospect it around to your neighbors. So you can, let's say we can click on this postcard right here. And then what we're going to do is going to go ahead and put that address in there, which is 2248 Able Way. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use our KWLS tool right here to the right of the design. We're going to put in here 2248 Able Way, hit enter. And then that property should come up in here. I think this is the one right here. So we're going to hit select. You'll see it brings up all the property details. And then we're going to choose that same photograph for the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And just like that, I can drag that picture right in there and you'll see automatically it will crop and put it in there for me. And then I can go ahead and just change out the information. So I can go here. And if I'm too lazy to type in the info, I can click right here where it says listing details. And then you'll see how we have this little circle thing here. So we're going to find the address. I'm going to put that in there. And just like that, I'm able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that address. Do that. And just like that, I have that information. I can do the same for the price and hit that little thing. And again, I can just remove some small little details. And let's pretend that I changed that out already because for the sake of time and training, I'm going to skip ahead and just change out the day and time. So let's say we're doing it for Saturday and we're doing it for October. Let's see, there's the 15th. So that will be, again, when this was recorded. So the 15th, the 17th is Thursday, 18th is Friday, 19th. And just like that, there's my card. And then if I want to work on the back of the card, I hit pages right here. And then I click here and it takes me to the back. So it has my information. So again, I can change out this card with my design and pictures. So I'm going to click here to images. And then to get to my assets, which has all my preloaded information right there. I'm going to click on my assets and there's my photo. So I don't know if this is going to work great for me because it has a long portrait size. I mean, God help us if we have my mug there. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, no. So yeah, this fellow here is a lot more handsome than I am. So I'll probably just take out that photograph completely and maybe just add my image there. That'll probably be a lot better. And I can just place that there. And I can go to my logos and see if I can find and put my logo there. So that seems to work. See if I can make it fit there better. And I think there was one other element. No, that was it. So here again, I can add a text box. Maybe I can put a QR code of the property. So, I can do that. And that's a whole nother conversation. And then of course I can change out my information here really easily. And then that's it. So again, for training purposes, we can change this out, but we're not going to do it now. Now what I want to do is download this postcard. So I'm going to click here on download right up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change this from PDF standard to PDF printing, as you can see there. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to upload this card with all the crop marks and all the bleed and all that information right there, as you can see, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to download one side at a time. Page one, that's the front. We're going to hit download for that. And then we'll save that into our computer here, my MacBook. So I'm going to call this front open house Able Way. Put this in my downloads folder. And then we'll do the same. We're going to do it all over again. Hit download, print, and then we're going to save page two, the back, just like that. Download. And then we're going to do the back, open house, postcard. Perfect. Okay, great. So now that we're done creating our custom postcard, we're going to hit done right here. This will take us back into command. And now we're going to go back to the campaign section. Give me a second here. We're going to go to direct mail. And what we're going to do is we're going to edit the existing one because I will show you the other option of what it looks like when you have an existing content postcard. And you'll notice how right here, because we use the templates that they give us here in campaigns. So right here, you'll see how it has default template provided, right? But right here, we have upload custom template. That's what we're going to click on. So we're going to click on here. And now it gives me the ability to upload the template. You can see here, there is some specific things it tells you what needs to happen. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit browse and go to my downloads. And then I'm going to upload my front part of the card, PDF, of course. And there it is. And now I'm going to upload the back. That's the reason why you want to make sure you have the back and the front separately downloaded when working in Designs. Hit save. And now I have that in there. Now we want to make sure everything here is good to go. I can go ahead and configure targeting like we did before. Now we have our own custom postcard. Another question I get from people is, can we create this in Canva? You can't, but what the issue is that for whatever reason, it doesn't quite jive when you want to upload a custom card, unfortunately. So your best bet would be to design it in Designs and Command and not outside of that. Okay, so here it is, you can see. And now we're going to go ahead and click on next. And there we are. And you'll see there is 77 cents per card because this was a 4x6 design that we created. All the postcards in Command Design are 4x6 for the most part. So now you can see what it looks like as far as the larger preview. Here it is right there. There's the back, and then there is the back right here, excuse me. There is the front. And all we got to do now is just put in our email card and make a payment. So that in a nutshell is how you do a direct mail through Command. If you do have any questions, please let me know. You know where to find me. And if you do want to make an appointment with me, I can definitely help with that as well. So let me quickly just take you to my Linktree. This has all kinds of resources for Command. There's even a video series of how to master Command in 66 days. If you have questions about Command, take us to our answers.kw.com, solution videos. And if you want to make an appointment with me, just click here. This will take you to my calendar to make an appointment for me. And then finally, if you want to partake of the classes I have to offer, just click on that link. This will take you to my class schedule as far as what classes I'm offering. And so it's all here. Click here to join the Zoom, and then we're good to go. So I hope this class was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.